already done. I pulled up two articles, and I've been warning people to sell their electric vehicles before the election. If you go to Google and you just type in if you just type in this simple term, electric vehicle market, Trump. Just type that in, see what happens. You're going to get a bunch of articles that pop up telling you how bad electric vehicle values have been just since the election. Just since the election. Because legislation created the electric vehicle market. It didn't come out of nowhere. The electric vehicle market did not come, oh, all of a sudden the world just wants electric vehicles. Legislation created it, and legislation can destroy it. Legislation can hurt it. So when the future of legislation is no longer geared in electric, then that means the value of everyone who owns an electric car, your value goes down by thousands. Like, it's plummeting. It's plummeting. So the real aspects of what we're here for is to let you know that if y'all don't start making great decisions with these cars, you are going to continue to lose thousands and thousands of dollars. And this is money you can't see because people have taught you, well, don't take car buying that serious. It's just a car. Go out, do it on the weekend. You went out to go to the grocery store. Somehow you ended up at a car dealership and you just bought a car. When you treat car buying like you bought a TV, you can't win. You're going to continue to get average deals below above market deals. You're going to continue to lose thousands of dollars. So shout out to the people who tap in. Shout out to the people who are locked in. Old Souza, anyone who has an electric vehicle, you should be assessing the value now, unless you plan to keep. Now, I told y'all in this video, Tesla was going to win. It wasn't even a question. Tesla was going to win. So it was all about Elon Musk saying, okay, if I could, Elon Musk just eliminated most of his competition. Brilliant move. Brilliant. Because he understood what drove the market. He understood. And you guys can start typing your questions. We'll be on here. Anyone who's car shopping, start typing your questions, and we'll get to as many as we can in the next next hour or so. But Elon Musk understood. What brought my competitors in was legislation. I was in this game before anybody was. I have a brand. Tesla's a brand. It's not just an electric car. It's a brand. But the reason why Tesla's value started tanking, if you just Google before the election, Tesla's resale values horrific, the worst of almost any car. He started saying, all right, the competition did that. There's more options. He got 90% of his competition out the market. And it's a great move. From a business move, people are not going to make these electric vehicles. They're going to focus on gas. They're going to focus on the things that they used to, making better emissions, smaller engines, turbochargers, better fuel economy, just like they used to, and they're gonna say, oh, thank God, we're done with the electric. We're done with needing to do this liability stuff. All of these, it's the getting to the electric market, developing these things, batteries, and how they're going to be sustainable in the long run. Why the heck do we want to do that? I worked with Mercedes for 5 years, General Motors for 5 years. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to focus on making great cars, great fuel economy. That's why they got rid. Who remembers the V8 engine? Rest in peace. What's up, Serenity? What's up, Silent Storm? Who remembers V8 engines? Some of you, if you were in the car business or if you're old enough, you remember. If you're 20, 25, you don't know. You very rarely, I mean, you might know about the Hellcats. I don't even know. Are the Hellcats and the Demons still V8 even? Some of these vehicles are getting 600, 700 horsepower. Are they V8 engines? Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know. If you know somebody who has a Hellcat or a Demon, or because I know the AMGs, when we worked for Mercedes, the AMGs, which were always 5-liter and up V8 engines, you start seeing AMGs that were twin turbo V6. Why? because they wanted to make cleaner, better vehicles for the environment, better fuel economy. That was their focus. The electric thing, they hated it. They hated it. It's expensive. The research is expensive. The liability is huge. We could burn somebody up with our car, start a fire. Why the heck we want to do this? And that's why they're going to be out the game. From this day forward, you're going to see less and less vehicles, and they're about to lose a ton of money because all the vehicles. Look at the articles. Just look at the articles. All the vehicles that they're sitting on are almost worthless. Look, and Trump already said, forget about these electric incentives. They're going to sit on lose tons of money on all this inventory, and they're going to look back and say, "Dang, that electric vehicle wave was a nightmare for us. Thank God it's over." Which means, what happens to the people who own an electric vehicle? Sucks for you. Sucks for you. So that is what we do here. Everyone who was willing to listen, oh, you're going to win. You're going to win. So who's car shopping right now? What's up, JT? I see a lot of people checking in on TikTok. Good to see you, Humphrey Holiday, Ricardo Ramirez. Hold on. I see important time-sensitive question for you, Deshone, over on the private page, please. Okay, you got it. You talking about the group page? Definitely. Who's car shopping right now? Who's car shopping right now? Let me know. Or you will be. You'll be car shopping. Does that mean hybrids also? Sugar mama, I think the value is in gas. So I think as long as you have the option for gas, you're good. When you don't have the option for gas, that's where the value is tanking. So I don't see this affecting hybrids. It's a great question. It's a great question. So who's car shopping? All right, I see you. I'm car shopping right now. I see you, Brandon. All right, I see you, Trust and Main Salon. Who's car shopping right now? In the spring, exiting a lease Hyundai. Okay, perfect. Okay. So who understands leasing? Type me if you understand lease. Matter of fact, here's a better question. Who doesn't lease? Who doesn't lease? You just would, whether you were taught never lease, you don't understand it, you had a bad experience with a lease. Who doesn't lease? Who doesn't lease? Because I am seeing that, thank God, a lot more people are being exposed to new knowledge. I drive too much and I have a dog. See, that doesn't matter. See, the best thing we can do right now is understand every way to acquire a car. Because how have I've kept thousands of dollars in my household by knowing all the ways to get cars. I'm going to tell you what I mean. When I was 22, I leased a Pontiac G6. I worked for Pontiac. I worked for General Motors. So I leased a Pontiac G6. It was $256 a month. Brand new car. My next lease was an Infiniti G25 for $310 a month. $310 a month. $30-something thousand car. My next lease was a Q50 Infiniti, $45,000 car. It was $325 a month. My next lease was I had 3 Q50s in a row. I had one the first year it came out, 2014. Then I had a 2016. And then I had a 2019. 3 Q50s. Payment was $345, $365. And I think my last one was like maybe $390. Never over $400. Why is this so important? I watch my friends drive garbage for $500 per month. And when I say garbage, I mean vehicles that were, let me give you an example. And I don't mean, let me be clear. This is how big of a difference below market leases are, because people don't know how to get them. Somebody was on my page earlier talking about, hey, these lease prices that he talks about getting are not possible. They're not possible for you. I said, bet me $1,000. I said, you want to bet me $1,000? Jump on my live today. Bet me $1,000. I won't show you 20 people who are getting the same below market lease prices that I talk about. Danielle, Kimberly, Charles on his Palisade. Look, Zafrina on her Jeep Grand Cherokee. Melissa on her Hyundai. Jen, I never heard from him. Why is this so important? Because when you buy a car, you're buying the entire car. You have to pay the entire car, and it's expensive. It's expensive. The reason why, when I watch my friends who had a Toyota, she had a Honda Civic, and she was paying $500 a month because that's what it cost. She didn't get a bad deal. A $23,000 Honda Civic costs $500 a month. That's a norm. That's what it costs. Every $5,000, some of you guys know, is about $100 per month. So she's paying $500 a month. I'm driving a $21,000 Pontiac G6. I'm paying $256. Who understands? Who understands that for any family, paying $256 a month versus $500 a month, it matters. Now, if she was paying $500 a month and she was driving a much more expensive vehicle than me, that's different. We're driving a similar price vehicle. But for some reason, you were taught to buy your cars. Now, there's a place for people who buy cars. We're going to get there. Because some people say, oh, Deshone, should everybody lease? No, they shouldn't. We'll get to you. We'll get to the people who should not be leasing. But we don't have a problem in this country with people leasing when they should be buying. We don't have that problem. Thank God I get to talk to 2 million people all across my 4 platforms. Between TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, we got 2.3 million followers. We've been talking to thousands of people for 3 years. I get data. We do not have a problem with people who are leasing, but they should be purchasing. We have a major problem with people purchasing who should be leasing. Major problem. Friend of mine who met me about a year ago, he lives in my neighborhood. He had a Kia Telluride, $45,000 SUV. He's paying about $800 a month. He didn't get overcharged. That's what it cost. Unless you put a ton of money down, that's what it costs. He totals his vehicle. His wife totals it. He said, Deshone, I noticed this 8-year rule you teach, which is if you don't keep your cars at least 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease deal, not a purchase. He said, well, I don't keep my cars more than 8 years. I said, so what's your next move? He said, so I should be shopping for a lease. I said, exactly. He shops for his lease. He had a 2022 Kia Telluride. Paying what? What was he paying? Let me see who's paying attention. What was he paying? Y'all know we dialogue here. If you're new here, we'll do a welcome shout out to the new people. But I'm talking to the people who tap in. You know we dialogue. You got to stay close to your keyboard to get a lot out of what we do here. To the people who want to save their money. There we go. 800. Thank you, Sugar Mama. Thank you, Deshone. Thank you. I see you. So he's paying 800. Vehicle gets totaled. See you, Dark Star. He says, all right, Deshone, I'm going to shop for a lease. His best deal when he used our system, he reached out to 25 dealers online. He got more than 5 offers back. His best deal was $479 a month. Vehicles in his driveway. It's been there since earlier this year when he picked it up. You understand? Do you think he needs any more convincing? He was driving a 2022, paying $800 a month. Fortunately for him, his vehicle gets totaled. Thank God his wife isn't hurt. Why do I say fortunately? Because he would have been stuck in a 5-year contract paying $800 a month for another 3 years. But now he's paying $479 a month, and he gets to keep $300 per month in his household. He didn't downgrade. He changed his structure. Who should be purchasing that? Long-term people. 8-year plus. Because when somebody's paying $300 a month less than you for the same car, it takes you a very long time to catch up to them. You got to pay off your car, keep it, because one thing about a lease is you're always going to have a payment. So you're always going to have a payment. So eventually the person who keeps their car a long time, 8+ years, they're going to catch up. Sugar mama, after the lease, you lease again. See, that's the thing. After I leased the Infinity for 3 years, I went and I got another one. And then I went and I got another one. And see, a long-term person is not switching their cars 8-10 years. Who has a car outside they've had for at least 8 years? Type me in the comments. If you have a car in your driveway right now, you've had it for at least 8 years, minimum. Type the number of years you've had it. Type the number of years you've had it. Now we're starting to see what we're going deep on the first start of this stream is the foundation of how to get cars. And if you are buying when you should be, type how many years you've had the car. Okay, I see you've had it for 8 years. I see you, I can't see your name, it just says user. If you have a car, because the best thing you could understand before we go out to get great deals is, should I be leasing? Has nothing to do with miles. We're going to get there. Nothing to do with how much you drive. Has everything to do with how long you keep the car. Yep, we'll get there, David. Yep, 30,000 miles a year, no problem. It has everything to do with how long you keep the car. Shout out to the sharers. It's time to hit the like button if you're enjoying what we're doing. Hit the like button. Appreciate you. If you're on TikTok, you know you guys like by double tapping the screen. Every time you double tap the screen, you run the likes up. So think about that. Okay, you got people on here who has, look, Arliss had a car, 14 years old. It's a 2010 QX56. Sugar Mama has a car that she's saying she had it for 8 years. Stuart Wilson on YouTube, I see you, 8 years. Okay, Facebook, I see you. It's not showing me your name, but it says you're at 8 years now. Okay, now, when that's the strategy, you're not thinking about leasing. If that's your strategy, all you should be thinking about is, I got to make sure I get a below market new car or used car deal. That's it. I got to make sure I pay less, make sure I don't overpay for my loan. If I'm getting a loan, make sure I get the lowest interest rate. That's your deal. You are not thinking about leasing if you are keeping the car long term, because the reason why we lease is to avoid what I call, remember this, who knows what this is? If you've been on our broadcast, every time I bring this up, type one word. What does this represent? I might have a bunch of new people on here, so I'm not going to assume everyone knows what this represents. This right here is a word that begins with a D. Begins with a D. First person to type it in, you got a free copy of my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Who knows? When I break this out, this is what you think. Every time we talk about buying versus leasing, this is what you should be thinking of. Let me go on Instagram because I can't even see the comments on Instagram. Let me see if anybody knows, because I want to give Instagram a fair shake to see if they got it. Hold on. Hold on, I'm coming to you. Okay, hold on, Stuart. Well, hold on. Now, Facebook, it's not showing me your name. Hold on. No, Maurice Johnson, you put depression. You know, that was close. I want to say, I can't say who got it first. I can't say who got it first. Because Facebook user, you typed it in depreciation. It's not showing me your name. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say, maybe I got to look at all the comments. I think it says you Facebook user, but it's not showing me your name. And I think if you message me in our private group, then that means you already have the book. Look, Stuart Wilson said, I got the book, give it to them. So thank you for the people who actually, know that, whether you got my book or whether you've been on a previous live. This is what we're thinking about when we're talking about buying versus leasing. So when you are buying your car, we just gave a shout out to all the people who have a car they have for 8 years, 10 years. This is the value of your vehicle when you buy it. Whether you buy it new or whether you buy it pre-owned, you're losing thousands of dollars every year in depreciation. That's why you buy a $30,000 vehicle, You go back in 2 years, it's worth 20. Even if you got a great deal on it. That's just what it is. The vehicles lose value. Now think about this. Some of you who are saying, oh, Deshone, don't I drive too much to lease? You're depreciating your vehicle whether you buy or lease. And with you guys, with the high mileage drivers, your depreciation is even much more drastic because you're destroying the value of the vehicle in a short term. You go out, you put 30,000 miles a year on a car. That's 90,000 miles in 3 years. Who is that attractive to the next buyer? That means no, that's not attractive. So when you go out and you drive high miles and you think, well, because I bought my vehicle, I guess I'm okay. No, because the asset, the depreciating asset that you actually own, you have destroyed the value of it. So if you went and paid cash for it and put, cash into it, you would see how much value you lost. The name of the game, and remember this is the moral of this story. The name of the game with deciding whether you're going to buy or lease is, how am I going to beat depreciation? Am I going to do like what the thing about these people who've had their cars a long time, this is what their depreciation looks like. If their value today is 7,000, a year from now, it's probably going to be 6,500. They're not losing much. Everyone's Stuart Wilson, you've had a car 8 years. A year from now, it's going to be worth a little bit less, not a lot. You're not going to lose thousands of dollars like when you first bought the vehicle. So what you do when you buy your vehicles and you lose all of that money in depreciation, and then you turn around and instead of getting to what I call the reward stage, which is what these other people are at, they're at the reward stage. Vehicle is not depreciating much anymore. You go and turn around and go get another vehicle. You're like a kid at the playground who just wants to keep going on the sliding board. You go on these 5 and 6 year sliding boards where you take out all these loans to pay these cars off, 5, 6 years, 7 year loans, God forbid. You pay them off. You ride that depreciation down. Your vehicle was worth 30. By the time you end up paying off the loan, it's worth 12. Then you go and turn around and you do it all over again. It's a constant loss of thousands of dollars because you're paying a lot more than a person who would be leasing would pay. So what's the moral? If you don't buy your cars and keep them 8 years, you shouldn't be buying. It's that simple. It's that simple. Nothing to do with miles. Everything to do with time. Here's an example of somebody who got a high mileage lease, above average. Jen. Jen gets a below market lease on her Honda CR-V hybrid. I always tell you guys, when you shop for your leases, we always shop with 12,000 miles per year. You must get 5 offers. Because if you don't get 5 offers on any car, and this is for used cars, this is for new cars, this is for leases. Cars are not, it's not like the Apple store. And then y'all start typing your questions. What we'll do is I had to lay out this foundation, and then we'll start going into questions. But without the right foundation, you're not going to be asking the questions you should be asking. So some people think, you might have been taught, or you might have been programmed to think that, all right, somebody will say, Deshone, I went to Nissan. They gave me a quote for a lease. Nissan is overpriced. Thank you, David. Nissan's not overpriced. That one Nissan dealer is overpriced. So if they got you to think that every Nissan dealer is one price, you go to California, that's like the Apple store. You go to California, the Apple, you want an iPhone 16, it's going to be the same as New Jersey. It's going to be the same as Florida. It's totally different with cars. One Nissan dealer has one price. Every Nissan dealer has a different price. Some people are going to charge you over sticker. Some people are going to discount a little bit. Some people won't discount. Some people are going to give you the rebate. Some people are not going to give you the rebate. It's all over. Everyone's competing, and their goal is to make you think there's no reason to shop around because we're all about the same price. We're all the same price. That's what they really want you to think. We're all the same price. But you take a look at Jen. Jen gets 5 offers. Her best offer on a $40,000, almost $40,000 Honda CRV, $512 a month on her lease. $512 a month, no money down. We always shop for leases with no money down. Do not let these commercials make you think you must put money down when you lease. There is no requirement of putting money down when you lease. There is absolute, that's a gimmick, because if they can get you to think that, then you're going to do it. But as you can see, I'm going to show you several people throughout the rest of the stream who we always shop with no money down. All we want to do is give them our first month's lease payment. We drive off as long as it's under our budget. $512 a month she gets. That's a 1.3% lease. Her payment is 1.3% of the MSRP. The way we judge great lease deals is with the 1% rule. So if your lease payment is 1% or lower of the MSRP, you stole the vehicle. Anything 1% to 1.5%, good lease deal. Above 1.5%, bad lease deal. A lot of people signing bad lease deals. They don't know it. How do we know it's a bad lease deal, Deshone? We add up the payments. Just add up the payments. With a lease, the name of the game with a lease is driving the most money. I see you, D Hall. We're going to get to everybody's questions. I see you. You got a lot of questions coming in, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Let me just lay this foundation, and then we'll do some serious Q&A. When you look at Jen, she's paying $512 a month. That was her best offer of all the offers she got. We do this from home. And then she bumped it up because she needed 18,000 miles per year. In my book, I have it's like literally a paragraph. It's called Choosing Your Miles Wisely. One of the worst things you can do with a lease is to not get the mileage that you truly need. And a lot of people do that. They'll go in knowing they need 15,000 miles per year, but they get 10. It makes no sense. Why? Because they're saving $25, $30 a month, to go from 12,000 to 18,000 miles a year. Jen is paying $50 more per month. That's it. $512 a month to 18,000 miles. Now let's just say, for the sake of you, David, if she was doing 30,000, she might go from $512 a month up to $675 a month. It's not $300, $400 more per month to get additional miles. So what we do is we shop for our leases, we get our below market offer, because we get all these offers, we choose the lowest one, and then we bump the miles up to what we need. Because you buying your cars as a short-term driver. Now, if you're a long-term driver, David, then you don't need to lease. What does that mean? Deshone, I keep my cars 8 years. Forget about leasing. You drive 30,000 miles per year. Get a below market purchase, new car, used car. There's plenty of cars, 8 times 30, that's 240,000 miles. I'd be getting a car that has a history of, being good on a high mileage, Hondas, Toyotas. There's a couple cars that have long-term records I just drive that car. When I get to 8 years, 9 years, I'll go swap it out. But if you're not keeping your cars that long, if you get to the 3-year mark, 4-year mark, and you're like, okay, it's time for me to go and put, I know you. I spent 14 years in the car business, 10 years inside dealerships. People coming in, hey, Deshone, I want to get out of this car. Yeah, I drive a lot. Okay, how much do you owe on it? I still owe like 14,000. Well, you got 160,000 miles on it, so the car's worth like 5. You got 10 grand of negative equity. The only way you're going to avoid that is if you put a lot of money down. That's it, because you're prepaying the losses. So it's like every deal you do, you either put 10 grand down, 15 grand down. Yeah, you're not going to have no negative equity, but you ain't getting that money back. That money's gone. The car is drinking it. Like, okay, thank you for that 15,000. You won't get that back. When you lease, you're just paying a little bit every month, and you're keeping that money in your bank account. Depreciation, you're not going to beat it. That's where we're losing. That's where you're losing. Depreciation in the short term with cars is going to destroy you. It's just you can't avoid it. Some people think, oh man, my cars go up in value. I got a car with high resale value. You don't own a rare Porsche or some rare, collector's item car. We had one run, y'all, 2021 to 2023. We had one run where cars had limited supply, and we were able to sell cars for 10, 15,000 more than what they're worth. 7,000 more. That's why if you look at my old TikTok videos, when I came to TikTok and Instagram, I was wanting cash out, everybody. Sell your cars. You're never going to have a time in history where we could do this again. Sell it. And we have people selling leases, making 7-10 grand. We have people buying cars that they had just bought in 2020, turning around, selling them 2022, getting all their money back. It was beautiful. It's over. It's over. We're back to a normal market, normal depreciation, and that's just what it is. Okay? So the foundation I just laid is step one in my book. My new digital book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. You can Google it. It has everything I teach step by step on how to get below market leases, purchases, new cars, used cars in a step-by-step way. What we just went over was step one, which is what I call the most important question, which is how many years are you keeping your next car? This is step one. The next car you're going to buy, how many years are you going to keep it? If it's less than 8, then you need to be shopping for a below market lease. If it's more than 8, you should be shopping for a purchase. That's step one. So now, part of my welcome offer, you can get your copy of Cars from Home for 75% off. It's normally $97, but if you go to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, the Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments, we have a link for you, and you can activate your 75% off for 30 minutes. That's my welcome offer to you. As long as you get there before 30 minutes, you got your book. It'll be in your inbox by the time you get done with the stream, and you'll have everything we teach in a step-by-step way to make sure you always get below market deals. Okay, but that's only step one, what we just went over. Now, let's get into some questions. Go grab your book, come back to the stream, and make sure when you get your book, you screenshot the thank you page. As soon as you purchase, it's a page that says open your book below. I also email you a copy, but sometimes people type in their email wrong. You're typing a little fast, and on that page, you're going to screenshot as my support team's email, just in case you don't see that email in your inbox in 10 minutes. Just email my support team, and they'll get you your copy of your book. Okay, but it's also on the thank you page, so you can save it to your computer. Okay, Dolan, we had a lot of questions, so let's just start pulling them up. And let's get to them. You guys can keep typing your questions. Dolan's gonna pull them in as much as we'll go over as much as we can. Can we go over what to do when getting a lease? We'll get to you. We got you, D Hall. We're coming. I see you, Instagram. Okay, I bought a car from a private seller. He's basically scammed me, and now I have the car with no title. What can I do now? First thing I do is make a police report. If we're talking about a seller who illegally sold the car or sold the car without a title, you don't want to be trying to do these things yourself. You want to make a police report, and you want to let the seller know I'm making a police report, because when you start accusing people of a crime, people start to do different things when they know the police are involved. See, when we're scamming people, I had a video that I posted the other day. Somebody called me and said, a friend of mine, he said he bought a car from a dealership. They didn't honor the warranty. I said, okay, first thing you do is call the police, have them over there, meet you over there, have your paperwork ready, and you're going to make a police report that this dealer is not honoring the warranty. And see, when people don't like to see police, companies don't like to see police. And especially if you're recording too, hey, I'm making a police report and hey, I'm live. People don't like that type of publicity. So the first thing I would tell you to do is let this private seller know who hasn't gotten you the title. I'm making a police report. Give them as much information as possible, and then go from there. You might want to go afterwards because is the vehicle stolen? We don't know. How do we know it's not stolen? He doesn't have a title. So hey, let's pull his vehicle up. Where did it come from? It's a tough thing. See, the bad thing about cars is once you make the decision, it's hell to get out of it. Once you make a bad financial decision with a car, it's extremely tough. You got to eat the loss. So the best thing to do is find out, how do I get cars without making mistakes? Because when I make a mistake, I have to eat it. It's buyer beware with cars. It's not like real estate where, you can sue people. People can lose their license. Very different. With cars, buyer beware. You're really on your own, which is why y'all notice we don't hear a lot of dealers being sued, right? Y'all notice that? Look, and who knows that there's tons of dealerships all around the country ripping people off. There's 100,000 used car dealers in the U.S., 17,000 new car dealers in the U.S. So you're talking over 100 110, 115,000 retail establishments for cars. We know it's a lot of them that's ripping people off. We don't see them in court. We don't see them being sued. We don't see them going out of business. Why? Because their contracts say it's your job to protect yourself. And unfortunately, not many lawyers want to take the case. If it's not a blatant criminal aspect, not many lawyers are going to take the case to sue a car dealership because they know their paperwork says it's buyer beware. Okay? So that's the first thing that I would do. Make the police report and try to see if we can track down the source of this car, where it come from, who owns it, and that's the first thing I do. And I wish you the best with that. That sucks, man. Go ahead, Dolan. All right. What do you do if you drive more than 12,000 miles per year? That doesn't matter. 12,000 miles per year is still on the low side of miles. 12,000. Now, if you drive more than that, if you drive 15,000, that's just above average. What I'm teaching now when it comes to shopping for cars is, especially used cars, 12,000 miles and lower is low miles. So right now we're in the 2025 model year. Whenever you're shopping for a used car, you want to ask yourself, what model year am I in? And usually after the fall, you're going to be in the next model year. So even if you're in 2025, okay, you could be in a 2026 model year. So then we look back and say, okay, if I'm looking for a 3-year-old car, average low miles is 10,000 miles per year or 12. Now, once you get up to 15, that's above average. That's not high yet. Above 15, 16, 17, 18, now we're getting to the high mileage. So it's not a matter of, 12,000 miles per year is really, it's still low. If you call it average, you can call it average, but there's nothing there's nothing that you would change based on you driving 12,000 miles a year or 15. And again, it has nothing to do with how much you drive. Leasing versus buying has nothing to do with how much you drive. The reason I learned about high mileage leases, I was a sales manager at Hyundai for a very short period of time, 6 weeks. It was a highway dealer on Route 1, New Jersey. It was literally like the owner's indicted. If you ever could imagine the typical highway dealership, this was it. And I've always worked at phenomenal places. I've always worked with great management teams, great sales staff, great culture. This was the opposite. This was like straight up, drugs in the bathroom, fights. I had to break up a fight between two of my sales team. It was just like, and it wasn't a physical fight, but they were about to fight. So I had to be peacemaker there. It was just 6 weeks. I said, thank you. I gave them the key back to the car that they let me drive, the demo. And I said, okay, thank you. God bless. This is not for me. But I learned something extremely valuable there. I had a customer who came back. He was returning his lease. He had 72,000 miles on the car. And I said, wow, you leased this? He said, yeah, I always lease. He said, I used to buy my cars and I would just make big down payments, $10,000 down payments. I wasn't getting the money back. And I just started leasing and I put a lot less money into the car. And when I looked at his paperwork, his lease payment for 25,000 miles per year was only like $150 more per month than what a normal below market deal would be. So if let's say a below market deal on a Hyundai back then, Sonata was like, let's say, $299 or $325, he was paying like $500, and let's say it was $325. I remember looking and saying, this is like $150, $175 more, but you're driving 25,000 miles per year. Now, fast forward, if he's driving 25,000 miles per year and he bought the vehicle and then he comes back in 4 years with 100,000 miles on it, he still owes a ton of money, because y'all got to realize when you take out a car loan, your car loan moves so slow, doesn't it? You look at your loan and 2 years later, you're like, wait, I still owe all of this? Yeah, it moves very, very slow because it's amortizing. So you don't really start seeing that the car loan's being paid off until when you got like 2 years left. But the first 3-4 years, you're like, man, I'm not even making a dent in this thing. which means when you come back in 4 years with 100,000 miles on your car as a high mileage driver, your car is worthless, not worthless, but literally it's probably worth half of what you bought it for, but your loan is still very high. So when I saw that, it's like, wow, that's when I began to teach my clients in the dealership about high mileage leasing, because I had never experienced it before then. I had never really experienced, I never saw it. It didn't click until then. Has nothing to do with how much you drive. Has everything to do with how long you're going to keep the car. That's why step 1 in my book is called the most important question. There's nothing more important than this. How many years? Hey, Tawana, what's going on? Thanks for tapping in. There's nothing more important than how many years you're going to keep the car. Because if you were buying, and we'll wrap this up with this statement, if you were buying a depreciating anything, if you sat down with a financial advisor and you said, okay, I want to buy this stock, and they told you, well, this stock has a short-term depreciation, but in the long run, it goes up. Well, can you explain that to me? Okay, well, the people who buy this stock, it goes down tremendously for 5 years, but then it shoots up for the next 6 years. You'd be like, okay, well, I'm only going to keep it about 5 years. They would tell you, then don't buy this stock. You say, well, I'm buying it anyway. Well, that's a bad decision. That's what's happening with cars. You're looking at cars. Every car you look at is going to go like this for the first 5, 6 years. So when you buy it, but you're not keeping your car more than 4, 5, 6 years, you literally, right when the car is going to start leveling out in depreciation, which means this is the reward stage. This is the benefit to you for buying the car. You went through this hell. Now it leveled out, and you have a vehicle that you paid off that you can keep for 4, 5, 6, 7 more years, paid off, not really losing value. That is this is the purchase. This is who should be purchasing. If this is not you, you're just riding this roller coaster down, and then you go and you get another car, ride it down. It has nothing to do with how much you drive. And the more you drive, the steeper the decline is over the first 5, 6 years. Understand this. All right. I think we made everybody clear on that. If you're clear, type $signs if you got that. Type $signs if you got that. Okay, everybody clear? Type $signs if you got that. Let's see. Okay, I see you, Dark Star. I see you, Tawana Bank. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see you, Sugar Mama. Okay, Sharon. Perfect. That's what all right. We want to make sure you are locking these concepts in. These concepts do not change. We are so far ahead of what's being taught in the market. You don't have to worry about these principles changing pretty much in our lifetime. Something would have to drastically change with cars for these principles to change. We're just ahead of the market. And unfortunately, if more car salespeople were taught these parameters and they were educating their clients, we wouldn't have to. There would be no place for us to do online education, because car salespeople would be held to a very high standard, with the threat of losing their license if they had to get one, or losing their ability to even be in the business if they had to learn these things, but they don't. You come in with a good smile, you say, hey, I want to make some money. You will be selling cars the next week, working with the public. Never sold cars a day in your life, don't know about loans, depreciation, resale value. Come on in, say, hey, all you got to do, if anybody's looking for a job, you want a career change, you just like, man, you know what? I think I would go right into a car dealership. You go into 10 car dealerships, say, hey, can I speak to the manager? Hey, look, I'm looking for a job. I just really want to make money. And you know what? I think I got a good personality. You'll have a job. You'll be selling cars in a week. That's who's helping you make $50,000, $100,000 decisions. That's who's helping you. So protect yourself. All right, my car insurance told me that insurance would double on the lease versus a purchase. That's just not true. You need to shop other insurance rates. That's just not true. Now, if you have a vehicle that has, you have if you maybe have a liability only policy, but full coverage is full coverage. If we got to, and watch this. This is interesting. When you lease, what shows up on your credit report, when I lease, like, let's say I lease a $30,000 car. Let me use my car. The last lease I had was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep Grand Cherokee. I see you, Presario. I see you, Stately Natural. Thanks for tapping in. I see the dollar signs, Instagram. What I noticed, like, all right, I got a $33,000, $35,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee, Laredo, 2018. I leased it for $330 a month. No money down, $330 a month. I paid about $12,000 over 39 months. When I pulled up my credit report, that's the amount that shows, $12,000. $12,000. Why is this important? Well, if I had purchased that $35,000 vehicle, how much is showing on my credit report? Balance due. 33, 34, 35,000. Whatever the whole loan is. So now, outstanding is 12,000. Outstanding is 12,000. If God forbid the vehicle's totaled, the insurance company pays it off and I go get another vehicle. I don't have to worry about losses or anything like that. Now, if I put money down, that's a different question. That's the reason why we need to know our risk of putting money down on a lease, because if the vehicle's stolen or totaled, you don't get the money back. So it's very important. That's another reason we shop for every lease with no money down. Very important. But when it comes to insurance, the same vehicle that I'm driving for $33,000 that I leased is the same vehicle that that if I purchased it, I would need to insure with full coverage. Nothing changes, but with a lease, I'm responsible for less. Think about that. So from an insurance standpoint, I'm responsible for less. I'm only responsible for $12,000 of payments over the next 3 years on this vehicle. The bank is responsible for the balance. So that's why I don't see a lease. I've leased vehicles. I purchased vehicles. We leased several cars before we purchased our Infinity truck. I didn't see my insurance drop when we purchased this Infinity truck. I didn't be like, oh no, I didn't see my insurance go up. So what it sounds like to me is you now need to shop for insurance. Because if your insurance, first of all, if your insurance broker told you that your insurance is going to go up by leasing, they're incompetent. Because there's no way, maybe the companies they use, or like I said, maybe you have liability only. If you got liability only, which that's not even recommended. That's not even, so if you have liability only, if your vehicle has any value, you should look into that. You should Google why having only liability is a bad thing. I'm not giving insurance advice because it's not my thing, but I have read it. So I can't see your insurance company telling you that and it making any type of financial sense. You might need to get a new broker, and you're one of the rare people that even still uses an insurance broker. Shop him against an online broker. Go to Insurify, online broker, see if Insurify will shop a bunch of companies for you and save you money. Because Insurify will shop a bunch of companies for you, and why are we paying a human that got to eat? I'd rather an app that takes a small percentage of commission from the companies than a person who needs to actually feed his whole family based on my insurance policies and premiums. I'm going to move on. All right. Now, look, I don't talk about insurance. That's a great question. But I talk about everything else in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. You can thank you to everyone who's reviewed it. And you can see that everything's in there, step by step. Leasing, below market leases, below market purchases, below market used cars, new cars, all in there step by step. You can get a copy as part of my welcome offer for 75% off. It's normally a $97 book. It's worth way more than that. But I had to price it somewhere to let you know it's not a normal book. It'll be one of the most valuable books you own. I won't say the most valuable, but financially, it will be one of the most valuable books you own. So part of my welcome offer, you can get a copy for 75% off. That'll be $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. So you can go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, click those links. You'll activate your 75% off, and then just grab your book, and it'll be in your inbox by the time we get off the stream. You'll have everything we teach step by step, everything we've helped thousands of people do. When you type in my name, you can see all I care about is the people's results. That's why we sit here all day and we talk about other people's results, not just my results, people who are using these strategies and getting these results over and over and over again. All right, so go grab your book, come back to the stream, and thank you to everybody who's reviewed the book. It does matter. It does matter. We appreciate you. All right, Dolan, pull up the next question. Let's keep it moving. Okay. All right, we got a lot of questions coming. I'm seeing questions coming from every single platform. So, all right, type your question and try to type it in one. Don't type it in like multiple kind of segments. All right, go ahead, Dolan, bring that one back up. My car's okay. Well, we already did that. Let's move to the next one. All right, is it worth considering a lease if you plan to keep the car at the end of the term? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, I don't know. Okay, let me answer this. So why are we leasing and then we want to buy it at the end? I can't get that. All right, let me be clear on this. This is a horrible way to move, and I'm going to explain why. The benefit of leasing is we drive vehicles for cents on the dollar compared to people who purchase. Look at this. Raphael has a $46,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She's paying $549 a month, no money down. Now, every $5,000 on a loan is how much per month? Every $5,000 on a loan is how much per month? Thank you, Sherwin. I'm using the book currently. It's extremely helpful. Thank you very much. All right, and I see your question too, Sherwin. We'll pull that in. But every $5,000 on a loan is how much per month? Thank you, Robert Gregory. All right, $100. Jen 79, $100. Listen. Y'all know I love seeing the stuff sticking. That's what shows me like you're locked in. Okay. Again, principles that will not change. Principles that will not change. Every $5,000 on a loan is about $100 per month. I see you, KK07. Yes. So now let's compare this below market lease that Raphael got for $549 to what it would have cost her if she purchased this Jeep. Let's just say, because I know what you're thinking. Well, Deshone, we're not paying list price there. Let's just say that she got a great deal. Okay, let's say she got a great deal. Let's say they took off $6,000. Let's say she got it for $40,000. She got it for $40,000. Oh, and now what about the taxes? Okay, let's just give her the taxes too. So let's be ultra conservative to show you how different a below market lease is from a purchase. Let's say they took off $6,000 for her, and let's just not even include the taxes, which would probably be another $3,000. $40,000 loan, her payment's about $800 a month for 5 years. If she takes it for 6 years, she might be able to get it to like $720, depends on the interest rate. She's paying $549. She's paying $549. Now, again, if she's a short-term person, this is what matters. If you're a long-term person, then take the higher payment, pay off the vehicle, and then, but when you go from this type of beautiful structure, driving brand new cars for cents on the dollar, to now purchasing a used car. What do you mean? I thought we were talking about buying the lease out. If you buy your lease out, you are doing nothing but purchasing a used car. The only difference is it's your car. That's the only difference. When you buy your lease out, you come in, and I remember people would come into the dealership. What's so bad is it's not even exciting. So they go in, they do the paperwork, they come out because you got to get a new loan, or if you're going to pay cash, and then you come out and we need a new temp tag, and I'm putting the temp tag on the car, and I'm like, hey, you just bought your car. They're like, I guess you don't even get the excitement of buying a used car. When you buy a used car, at least when you drive it off, you're like, oh, yeah, baby, it's new to me. You don't even get that when you buy your lease out. So now let's go deeper on why buying your lease is a horrible idea. Average lease is going to be 3 years. We do not take 4-year leases. Why? You're paying too much for a vehicle you're giving back. Add up the payments. The value with leasing is when you add up those payments compared to what you bought, the MSRP, it should be low. Should be a low percentage of what I drove this much car for this much money. Great value. So when we take 4-year leases and there's 4 years of payments for a vehicle we're giving back, bad value. So now, average lease is 3 years. In order, when you buy your lease out, in order to get a payment that is somewhat close to what the original lease payment was, you're going to have to take another 5 or 6 year loan. Now you've already had it for 3. Now you're coming back and you're going to buy the balance for 5 years. Let's give it the minimum. How many years on the loan is that, people? How many years of payments on the exact same car is that? Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Tanj. 8. Nope, Jim. It's 84. No, I'm wrong. It's 96 months. Jim says 72 months. No, it's not. 72 months would be 6 years. That's the max loan that we take. In my book, I have something called the rule of 72 and the 10th birthday, which means you should never take a loan longer than 72 months, and your car should be paid off by the 10th birthday if you want to avoid the risk of having an older car with a payment. Things can go wrong and you still have a payment. So we never take a loan. So 72 months, Jim, is 6 years. When you buy your lease, when you lease for 3 and then you buy it for 5 years, that's 96 months of payments, 8 years of payments on the exact same car. What smart person is taking 8-year loan? Anybody signing up for that? Any of you walking into a dealership saying, hey, give me the 96-month loan? Anybody? Is anyone going to walk into a car dealership at any point and say, hey, all right, show me what it looks like for 96 months? I'm seeing, look, we're on 4 platforms. I was quiet on Instagram. Sharon said no. Anybody? Never, right? But we have tons of people. Look, Tan said, hell no. But we have tons of people who have leased their vehicle for 3 years and they go and buy it they buy the balance out with a 5-year loan. And there are some who take a 6-year loan. And I'm going to tell you why, because I remember when I started teaching this for our books, my Infinity lease was ending. And I said, you know what? I want to look at, my payment was $390 on that last Infinity. I wanted to see how much it would have cost me to have a payment close to a $390 payment to buy out the balance on the Infinity, 6 years. And it was a little higher. It was like $410. So many people are buying their leases out with a 6-year loan when they've already leased the vehicle for 3. 9 years of payments. That's 108 months. It's 108 months of payments on the exact same car. The bank loves you. That's why we don't mix buying versus lease. We don't mix. If I'm going to lease, look, here's the question. Simple thing. Simple principle to lock in. When I'm leasing, my first question whenever I'm buying my vehicles is, am I going to keep it more than 8 years? Am I going to keep it definitely more than 8 years? If your answer is no, okay, I'm shopping for a lease. Okay, my lease is about to be up. All right, time to start thinking about my next vehicle. What's my question? How many years am I keeping the next vehicle? How many years am I keeping the next vehicle? It doesn't change. Okay, I think I want to buy something. I got my eye on something. I want to keep it at 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. I got my dream vehicle that I want to get right now. I ain't think I'm going to keep that thing until the wheels fall off. Perfect. No point in leasing. Don't even think about leasing. These are the principles. Because the depreciation, a person who's driving a below market lease, you cannot catch up with them if you purchase. If you got a used car, if you bought a new car, doesn't matter. They're driving vehicles for so cheap Below market leases. I'm not talking about commercial leases. I ain't talking about the stuff you hear your people saying, man, look at my, man, I'm paying a lot for this lease. That ain't us. Don't listen to people who don't know how to get below market deals. They're gonna tell you, look at Teddy, $73,000 BMW, $829 a month. His final payment, that was his counter offer, $856 a month. He uses our system. One of the things I teach is we do this from home. We go online, we contact multiple dealers. We actually contact 25 dealers in about 20 minutes. I have email scripts that you use, you copy and paste, and we get at least 5 offers, and then we choose the best offer. Very rarely is the best offer going to be your closest dealer. Like, look at the closest dealer. He said his closest dealer's offer came in at $937. His best offer was $856. So the closest dealer is not usually going to be your best offer, because when they see a zip code, they think, oh, when I worked for Mercedes, they told us that they told us NADA tells us most customers only shop 2 dealers. Car dealers know that about you when you walk in. So that means, all right, we're going to talk to this person. Odds are they're not going to shop us, and they're going to try to negotiate with us, and that's okay. We'll tell them we're giving them a good deal. We'll take off $5,000. We'll show them this, but we'll never give them, see, 8 out of 10 dealers are not going to go below a certain number. So you don't know that when you say, look, you might think, let me show you how dangerous negotiating with a dealer one-to-one is and why we never do it. You take somebody like Sean. Sean gets $21,000 off of his F-150 Lightning. If he had negotiated with one dealer on this, let me go to his follow-up, because he was asking me, did I think this was a great deal? And I said, well, if it's your best offer, then it's a great deal. Hold on. Let me see. Can I find this follow-up on Sean? See, I want y'all to understand, we never talk numbers in a dealer. We never talk numbers in a dealer. You don't have any leverage. You cannot shop competitors. And the only way that you're going to get a great deal is shopping competitors. In fact, I don't need to go deep on that. I don't need to go deep on that. When you don't shop, when you don't step back and get multiple offers, somebody might take off $7,000. There's somebody who bought an F-150 Lightning just like Sean, just like the $21,000 discount I just showed you with Sean. And they were in the dealer and they were negotiating back and forth. And that guy or that woman went home and said, guess what? I got a great deal on this truck, $73,000. Guess how much I got them to take off? Oh, how much? $12,000. Ooh, $12,000. That's good. That's the biggest discount we ever got. Yeah, I roughed them up. Yeah, he didn't want to do it. But meanwhile, what do we know? Sean shopped the whole market, got multiple dealers, saw several offers, saw the $12,000 discount, saw the $7,000 discount, saw a $15,000 discount, and then this one dealer comes in who's far away from him, who says, hey, I'll take off $21,000. I'm on my way. That's why we never talk numbers in the dealership. That's why our system is called Cars from Home. 90% to sometimes 100% of what we do and how we get these below market deals is done from home, not in the dealership. So all of this is in my new book. It's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox in minutes. You can get your copy as part of my welcome offer for 75% off. It's normally $97. You can Google it, Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealers. You'll see it's 5-star rated on Goodreads. And you can get your copy for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97 price. You will be you'll get yours for $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. So go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Click that link, and then you'll see that we have you'll see the countdown. As long as you get there before the 30 minutes, you got yours for $24. That's our welcome offer. And make sure you screenshot the thank you page, because on that page is the link to open the book as soon as you purchase, but it also is my support team's email. In case you type your email address wrong, we can't send a book to an incorrect email. So if that book is not in your inbox in 10 minutes, just email my support team and we'll get you the book. All right, that's my welcome offer. Go get your book, come on back to the stream. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Let's keep it moving. I know we got some more. I see KK. I see we got a. Go ahead. That's a good question. New presidency, but we'll get to that. I drive 30,000 miles a year. Well, we already hit on that. I actually answered that already about high mileage leasing. Not we anybody who just jumped on and you drive a lot of miles, 18,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000. You want to go jump on YouTube, watch the early part of the stream because that we saved the stream, or Facebook, and you'll see we went deep on that for about 15 minutes about how leasing has nothing to do with the mileage you drive. I gave you examples of high mileage leases, Jen with her 18,000 mile a year lease, and then I talked to you about when I learned about high mileage leasing, which is when in Hyundai and my client who came in with a 25,000 mile a year lease, and they were only paying $175 more per month than a great lease. So yeah, just go back and catch that. Go ahead, Dolan. Go ahead, Dolan. This is a similar question. 30,000 K lease with just a similar question. My daughter just crashed her car. Sorry to hear that. Credit is mediocre. Any tips? I go the least expensive car that I can get. When we don't have the credit, one of the worst things we can do is to tie up money in a long-term deal where we take all right, let me put it like this. In my book, I have two strategies. See, let me explain why the first question never changes. First question is always, how many years are you going to keep the car? Because there's two types of people who don't have the credit and they're keeping their car long term, or people who don't have the credit and they're not long term, which means they should be leasing, but they don't qualify for a lease right now. So let's assume that you're the first type of person. You're going to keep the car 8 years or more, but the credit's not good. Your mission is to make sure you get a great car. You can use our strategies, new car, used car. We need to get a great quality car below market below market price. We don't want to go out there and overpay for the car, because this is what people who don't have good credit tend to do. You go out with desperate vibes, desperate energy, and you basically say, whoever can get me in a car, I'll sign up for it. Which is why I've seen people rave about, hey, go see Joe. Man, and one thing about people who don't have good credit, they will go and tell their friends, and any of their friends who may not have good credit, hey, go see my man Joe, he'll get you approved. Joe is making tons of money on you, because Joe is making, I remember these deals would make $8,000 to $10,000 minimum for the dealership. Between the price of the car they sold you for and between the loan, these deals were washing out at $8,000 to $10,000 minimum. Very, very profitable deals for the dealership. Why? Because the people they don't know there's other options. Whenever we buy a car, we always separate the purchase of our car from our loan. We don't mix these two things, because we need to get bids. Some of you who've been on our streams, you know everything we do is a bid. We need to be getting bids. When we're getting our loan, we have multiple banks and credit unions submitting offers to us, and we pick the best one, because there's a lot of money in loans. Why do you think banks are in the loan business? There's a lot of money in loans. They don't sell cars, they sell money. When we are purchasing a car, we are getting bids because all the dealers have different prices. So someone needs to win a bid. When you go into one dealer and just work with them, you've given yourself no opportunity to see the market and get bids, get offers, multiple offers. And when we sell our car, we get bids. We only sell our cars to companies where we could get multiple cash offers. Driveway, Vroom's out of business. Carvana, CarMax. We have 6 companies in my book. This is step 2. So the point is, if we are a long-term person, our mission is to find the best car we can find, because we know we're going to pay more in interest. But interest can be fixed with a refinance when my credit's better. So if I was buying a car to keep for a long time, 8-10 years, but I don't have the credit, I'm going to go and I'm going to find the best car. I'm going to shop for my loan independently. We have a strategy in my book. It's called the bank bidding war. We separate these things. Now, because your bad credit or your mediocre credit should not be between you and the dealership. It's between you and the people loaning you money. Type a $sign if that makes sense. I'm going to say that again. Anyone who has mediocre credit or bad credit, your bad credit or mediocre credit is not between you and the dealership. The dealership sells the car. It's between you and the lender. The lender comes to you and says, hey, all right, you're buying a $20,000 car here. We'll loan you the money, but we got to charge you 22%. Cool. I got a great price on the car, though. I got a great price on that car, which makes it even better for the lender because they're going to see, okay, the loan to value rate, yeah, you did get a great price on the car. Helps us, just in case we need to repo the car. We like that you're not underwater. Versus walking into a dealer saying, hey, you know what, my credit's not good. Can you get me approved? Now, not only are you going to pay 22%, but you're going to pay for the same car that you could have got on the market for 20, they're going to charge you 23 plus interest. So now they're burying you because you came in desperate. So my mission would be to find a great car, shop for my loan separately, and then realize, all right, if I'm paying 22%, all right, let me work on my credit. Great. Year from now, 18 months from now, I got good credit. Let me refinance this car loan. I'm keeping the car though. That's different than a person who's not going to keep the car. It's a short-term person. If I'm a short-term person, I should be leasing, but I can't qualify for a lease right now because I'm not at like a 660 credit score or higher. Let me just shop. All right, let me go and I'm going to buy an inexpensive car, least expensive car I could get, $10,000, $12,000 quality car, and then I'm gonna flip out of that car in 2 years. I'm gonna have 2 years of on-time payments, build up my credit, and then I'm flipping into a lease. Everything we just laid out is not what most people do. Most people will go in, they say, look, my credit's not good, but I want to get that $23,000, Honda Civic with all the features. Honda Accord with all the features that I want. Boom. Now they're overpaying for the car, not really shopping for a quality car. Maybe they got it if it's a Honda, but you still could get a bad Honda. Are you checking service records? Are you checking accident history? You could have a great car, but you bought a bad one. And most people don't want to sacrifice. They just want to go in and get the car. So that's the two strategies. Those are both in my book, by the way. Short-term strategies for people with bad credit. I should be leasing, Deshone, but I can't qualify right now. What's my setup? So that in 2 years, I am leasing brand new cars. That's the play. And then the long-term strategy for people who are buying, don't have the credit right now, is quality car. Let's get our loan. We'll pay more for it. When our credit's better, we refinance the loan. Both in there. So if you want to get your copy of Cars from Home, my new digital book, it's 5-star rated. You can go to my TikTok bio, my welcome offer, 75% off. You'll have everything I laid out step by step and more. Because your household's going to be different. The reason why Cars from Home, my new digital book, is so valuable is because in your household, let's say your spouse wants to lease, your daughter needs a pre-owned car, you want to buy a new car, it's all in there. Your spouse is a high mileage driver, your daughter wants a used car, you don't have good credit. There's 3 different strategies in there for you 3. Y'all are 3 totally different people, and each path is in that book for you guys to get to the below market purchases based on that. Okay, so if you want your copy, go get it. It's part of my welcome offer, 75% off, but only for 30 minutes. In my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments, click that link, go grab your book. You'll get it for $24 instead of the normal $97 price, as long as you get there before the 30-minute timer expires. Right? Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. Who's getting value out of the stream? Type a $sign in the comments. Type a $sign if you're getting value out of what we do here. We hold ourselves accountable to not holding back. The reason why, we never hold back. It's all about, if you can remember all of this, I got tons of free videos that's been hitting the airwaves for 3 years. You want to try to maneuver through them all, piece stuff together, God bless you. You want to come on the stream, listen, try to piece it together, God bless you. Some of you like, yo, I ain't gonna remember all of this. Let me go get the blueprint. Let me make sure no matter what I can reference it. Okay, everything's in the blueprint. That's the purpose. We make sure you can get the information no matter how you want it. No matter how you want it. Some of you who like Deshone, you work with people. I see you showing a lot of people in your Facebook group. Yeah, we work with people all the time. I've worked with over 2,000 people since 2021. We have a video where we could, jump in a Facebook group where we do Zoom calls twice a month. Just go to my bio, go to the same links. You'll see, Dolan, can you post that link for the Shop with Deshone in the comments for YouTube and Facebook? Those of you who want to know about us actually shopping together, that's fine too. Again, get in where you fit in. Whatever, I don't care how you get the information, use it so that you can keep this money in your family's bank account and out of these cars. These cars are sucking up people's money like relentlessly. How do you see the new presidency affecting car buying and rates? Whatever the market does, there's always three prices: above market value, below market value. We got deals. Let me show this deal that Bonita got during the pandemic, which has been historically, they say, the worst time to purchase a car. Now, I told people for years, if you didn't need to purchase, hold out, let this whole thing blow over, unless you had a vehicle to sell. Because if you have vehicles to sell that you could sell, cash out, because they were worth $7,000 to $10,000 to $12,000 more than they would be worth today. But for those who didn't, who you were just adding a vehicle, if you didn't have to do that, we didn't do it. But if you had to do it, we had people who needed cars. Come on in. Let's show you how to get below market deals, even when the market's high. Bonita gets her Kia Telluride, December 2022. This is still when people were paying $5,000 over sticker for Kia Tellurides. She stays at home. She uses our system. She gets multiple offers. She gets a $45,000 Kia Telluride, $600 a month. In fact, it's an S, might be 46, $600 a month. Now, I told you what my neighbor got it for this year, $479. We don't know if it's the same model, but let's just figure similar. So below market at that time, the below market leases on Kia Tellurides was $600, because there were people leasing them for $700, $800, $850. I wish I could find them. They're everywhere. Some of them are still in those leases. They can't wait for them to expire. They're still paying $800 a month for their Kia Tellurides. She got it for $600. So no matter what the market does, the key is knowing how to get below market deals. And how do we get below market deals? It's very simple. We need to get enough offers to see the market, and then we pick the best one. It's very simple. You can't get below market deals going into one dealer or two, because that's not the market. That's two dealerships. The market is within 100 miles, 75 miles. What is the market? Everyone who has this car I want, what's the best offer? Doesn't matter. And here's what I always say. People with no skills are going to pay above market value. People with negotiating skills are going to pay market value. People who make dealers bid and get multiple offers get below market value. Because there's no I could say to a negotiator, here's how I know. Negotiator comes out the dealership. Hey, yeah, man, I just got a great deal, man. I worked them over. I've been coming back for 2-3 months working them over. Okay, are you willing to bet $1,000 that I can't get a better deal than you? Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't take that bet. Why not? You've been working them over. Yeah, but I wouldn't take a better. Now, I probably can't. I'm not gonna get a better deal from you from them. But for that car that you just drove out here with, bet me $1,000 I can't find a better deal than that. in this market from home. Nah, I'm not going to take that bet. That's why that's why negotiators don't get below market deals. There's no confidence that they actually got a below market deal because they haven't seen the market. They go into one dealer, maybe two, they negotiate. There's no confidence. On the opposite end, you could have a person with no negotiating skills, which is what I love. The people with no negotiating skills, you're the people who we love because you don't come in thinking you got the whole thing figured out. Negotiators, you got to come in unlearned because they want to bring all this old stuff that they do into a new system. You can't put new wine in old wineskins. So you come in, blank canvas, somebody like Zafrina, stays at home, $65,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee electric vehicle, $579 a month. It's her best offer out of all the offers. She said, look, used all the scripts, email scripts, contacted the dealer, sealed the deal on this lease, $579 a month. That's a 0.88% lease. She didn't get that negotiating. That didn't come from negotiating. Look at Ansley. In fact, look at Rosalie. $60,000 QX60 Infinity 2024, $592 a month. I'm gonna leave that up for the people who will read it. $592 a month. Not from negotiating. She didn't get that going back and forth, sweating, sitting at home, letting the market come to her. So a presidency is not going to change anything. No matter what the market does, we're going to be getting below market lease deals, below market purchase deals, below market used car deals. It's not going to change. People with no strategies are going to just broadcast to you. There's no deals out here. When you hear that, don't believe it. Look, if you're in our world, all you'll do is just feel bad for them, man. Listen, man, you should check this book out. Get all these offers, man. Like, call around. Even if you tell them, call around. Get at least 5 offers. Even if you can't get them to come over to our world totally, hey, call around, man. Call a couple dealers. Get at least 5 offers. Don't just go to this one-to-one thing. Oh, man, yeah, cars are expensive now. Anyone talking like that, they don't know how to shop. So what they want to do is broadcast that to you and have you be like, oh, there's no deals out here. Now you walk into a dealership and you just like, hey, yeah, man, you know, I know it's no deal. I think about we used to get deals back in the day, man. We would get big discounts off, and the car salesman sitting there like, yeah, it's crazy how the market's changed, right? Like, we can't even, you know, these cars are now selling for, you know, there's no cars out here, right? You know, inventory is still limited. Is it? Yeah, man, it's, yeah, after the pandemic, you know, we had the pandemic with the chips, you know, we had the, you know, then we had the strike. You remember the auto worker strike? Yeah, that's right. Dang, man, it's like we just keep getting hit, like, oh, and then we just got to pay it, right? It just falls on us. Yeah, it's sad, but look, here's what I do. I'm going to talk to my manager, and we're going to make you the best possible deal we can. I guarantee you that. All right, man, you're going to have to work with me. Man, you sitting there with a shark. You are blood in a shark's mouth. He can taste it. You just said everything I need you to say for me to know that I'm about to make 5, 10. I might make a $1,200, $1,500 commission on you because I'm gonna make 10 grand for the dealership. These people are not your friends. And look, I'm the bad news first person. Look, I don't leave you there though. So I'm not the person who sits here and just goes bad news. But I gotta tell you, that you shopping the way they have programmed you to shop is bad. I can't sit here and make it look like you guys are doing okay. You know, just keep going that way. Let me teach you some negotiating tactics to go back and forth with these car salesmen that negotiate 3 times a day, 15 times a week on cars, and you never know what they own the car for, but I'm going to give you some tactics where you can go toe-to-toe with them. And you can't win. You don't know what they own the car for. You don't know. The name of the game is step out of it, step back, relax at home where you're in control. Use the internet. A beautiful tool that allows us to shop for TVs, shop for groceries. We can shop for all of these things comparatively, right? Using the internet. We just use it for cars. We just use it for cars. That's it. Yes, exactly, Sherwin. That's why we need the 25 to 5. Exactly. How can you tell if you're getting a deal when you're looking for a vehicle that is being marked up? Multiple offers. It's very simple. We expose the dealers who are charging high prices. Let's go back to Teddy's deal. I would assume that on Teddy's BMW here, $73,000 BMW, he said his highest offer, he said, I received 10 offers. I only used the scripts provided. That's the email scripts. Closed on a 2024 BMW i4 M50, $856 a month. His highest offer during this process was $1,123. There's no doubt that that was a marked up offer. That dealer is going to sell that car to someone else. But when we shop, we're talking to people online by email, and we're getting their best offers. Some dealers' best offers are marked up. That's just what they do. They would rather not sell the car to us because they know someone's going to walk in tomorrow that I could sell this car to for $1,100 a month. No problem. It's just not going to be me, or it's not going to be one of us. But that's okay, because if they weren't selling it for $1,100 a month, they wouldn't have made that offer to Teddy when he gave them everything they needed to make him an offer. Here's our offer, Teddy. Take it or leave it. It's $1,100 a month. No problem. But I got another offer for $986, and his best offer ends up being $856 a month. So it's not about negotiating with dealers with markups. It's about exposing the dealers who don't have markups. It's about exposing the dealers who have markup. Okay, yep, I can see you just, yep. Hey, this one dealer said it's no rebates on the car. He didn't include the rebates in our offer. That's fine. Hey, this other offer over here, great. Oh, he says it's $5,000 in rebates that he gave me. What's the difference? One's a liar who wants to make a lot of money, and one's not. Now, if you were in that dealership negotiating back and forth with that liar, you can't win. You might think, oh, he took off $5,000, but he still has another $7,000 that he's not taking off no matter what. He'd rather you leave and say, hey, look, well, I'm not going below that. That's our best offer. That's not the market's best offer. That's just our best offer. He's not lying to you. But his competitor that's 45 miles away, oh, his best offer is 10,000 less. This is how different the market is. This is why the 25 to 5, Stephen, Sherwin, it's just the beautiful. Wait, we just got the live paused on Instagram. Oh, I think we hit the time on Instagram. But either way. So that is what, that's the name of the game. You have to see for yourself. Again, all of these people we've talked about so far, the people who I've shown you, you can see a lot of people in my comments on some of my bigger Facebook, social media videos. You'll see people who just post, because we get DMs all the time. We get emails all the time. All the time. Yeah, I just used this. Look, I haven't even read some of these because I don't really. These emails are a little harder to bring in. Because I like to bring in the pictures when people show me. I like when people send me their pictures as well as the details of the deal. But we get these all the time. Look, for my new car, I'm at 1.34%. So I know, thank you, capital letters, I know I got a good deal. Look, using your strategies, I calculate that I did not get a good lease deal on the Pathfinder, which turned out to be 1.64, but that won't ever happen again. Awesome, Kamika. Oh, Kanika, sorry, that looked like an M. So she assessed using the 1.5% rule. She did her math for her old lease, and she's like, dang, I didn't get a good lease deal last time. Perfect. But she's like, it's never going to happen again. Now this new lease deal, for my new car, I'm at 1.34. So I know I got a good deal. Further proof that there's about $10,000 difference in the price of these vehicles. But I'm saying that I'm paying the same price monthly that I was paying on the lower trim with way less features. Using your books and scripts, I negotiated with about 6 different dealers with the best offer coming in right at 1.5, and then at the very top of my budget. I was about to move to my Plan B vehicle when a 1.38 offer came in, and then we have a counter offer calculator. She ended up getting another $15 off, bringing it to 1.3%. Look, I will be using your book to help my mom with her vehicle purchase next year, and for myself and my family for years and years to come. I just wanted to say thank you for putting yourself out there to teach people these skills. Much love and appreciation. Now, I got to start reading these emails more during the show. Thank you, Kanika. That just gives you a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. See, I don't care about nothing else but people keeping money in their house. That's what I hold myself accountable to. All of these people out here teaching stuff, and if they ain't getting results for their people, they shouldn't be teaching. I don't care about no followers. What the heck do I care about followers if the people who following me ain't saving money on cars? What does that do? Oh, you got 2 million followers. Who's saving money on cars? Who's not going to dealerships? Who's sitting at home enjoying car shopping? Probably about 50,000 of them. That's who I care about. I appreciate all the 2 million, but the 50,000 is who. They're the ones who results. That's all I care about, man. Thank you, Kanika. That's beautiful. I might have to read one more. Hold on, because I pulled these into the show, but I'm like, I haven't read them in a while. Hold on. Thank you so much for these resources. I read your entire book last night. I've already been underway and trying to put my deal together. What a great book. I have my quotes together, and now I'm ready to take the next step with the calculator. We have like 5 calculators in the book that we invented. Can't get them on Google. Literally counter offer calculators, budgeting calculators, stuff that, we invented. Wrote the code for it. It's in there. However, he just said, I do see your lease calculators for 12,000 miles per year. Do you have something I can use for 15 per year? So that was just a question that he wrote to me, just saying how great the book was and having a strategy. And then, once he gets to the next stage, he sees we adjust the miles after. So again, it's all step by step. When we accept offers at 12, but we know we need 15, we always see sometimes because people think ahead, they're like, wait, hold on, I need 12, I need 15, I need 18, but it said we shop for 12. But once you shop for 12 and we're reviewing our offers, that's when I say, now here's when we pick the best offer and then adjust our mileage with that dealer. We need to find the best dealer first, then we adjust our offers. Okay? But yeah, it's the confidence of having a plan. You can hear that when he was writing, he's like it's different. I'm shopping with a plan now. I'm not out here winging a $50,000 transaction, kind of shooting from my hip, hoping I don't make a mistake. It's like I have an actual process to follow, designed by a car dealer or a car salesman. I wouldn't call myself a dealer, even though for 4 years I ran a brokerage. So technically that is a dealer, but I've been inside car dealers for 14 years. So we wrote the process from the inside. So, okay. All right. Let's go, Dolan. I know, Dolan, you said we trying to go 2 hours, but I don't know, man. Like, text me in the private chat, man. I don't know about it. After about like my voice, let me drink some water. If you lease, do you have to pay the taxes? They go in the payment. When we lease, we have a template that we send out to dealers. And here's what it says. You have to tell dealers how to give you the offer. Part of the problem with why your shopping online is not working, why it's frustrating, it's 2 reasons. 80% of dealers are here to make it hard, because making it hard makes them more money. They're trying to frustrate you to get you to come in. That's why you notice, who notices, type right. Type right if you notice this. One of the first questions that you're going to get when you're on the phone with a dealership is, when can you come in? Is that right or right? Right? You're not even on the phone with them for more than a couple minutes before, hey, when can you come in? Correct? Right? Okay. Thank you. So that's the goal. I need to get this person here by any means necessary. So they're going to say a bunch of stuff that's not true. I see you, Sherman. I see you, Sugar Mom. A bunch of stuff that's not true. Like what? Your best deal is going to be if you're here. Not true. Your best deal is going to, hey, we only, if you come here, I guarantee your presence is your leverage. Not true. Your presence is no leverage. Can't see the market when I'm sitting in your dealership. So you have to tell dealers how to quote you because they're going to quote you the way they want to quote you. So we always request our quotes with 12,000 miles per year, first month's payment only, due at signing. So I'm giving you my first payment, I'm driving off. Now, when we shop for purchases, we shop all-in numbers. We shop all in. Tax, title, fees, everything included. Now, when we're shopping for a new car purchase or even a used car, we're looking at all-in numbers because remember, we're getting our financing separately. Then we give the dealer a chance to beat it. We do a bid for that. That's called the bank bidding war. So, but we have a particular way that we're requesting our offers for us to be able to compare them. We don't let them, and even when we send out our templates, you're going to see some dealers, the 80%, don't listen, which is why we have to send stuff twice. Copy and paste is going to be your best friend when you're buying a new car, used car, using what we teach. Copying and pasting, copying and pasting. Now, we're requesting them to put the lease in the payment, but part of what we need for them to even give us an offer is they need to know what vehicles we're looking at, what are our options, what are we open to, colors, equipment, trim level. Do we have multiple options that we can consider with them? They need to know what we do for a living because they need to know do you have any rebates? They need to know what memberships we're a part of, AAA or, Costco. We had somebody who got a Volvo last year. She said she got an extra $1,000 being a Costco member. That was a California deal. So all of this stuff matters. When a dealer is trying to give you their best offer, they need to know everything you qualify for. There's conquest rebates or loyalty rebates. What vehicles do you have in your household now? Do you have any competitive vehicles? That's why in our template, we fill all this stuff in, then we send it off. So when you're trying to shop online, you're wondering, why can't I get, the shopping online? I tried it, it's not working out because you don't know what to give the dealer. They need the zip code to factor in your taxes. This is stuff that you're thinking when they ask you this, you're like, wait, why are they asking me for this? They're trying to, no. So you're going to just go in and say, well, man, this is frustrating because you don't actually have an online shopping process that works. You're winging it. And you don't realize that I can't even shop online because I'm defensive because the dealer is going to ask me for things that they need to make me an offer. And I think they're asking me for it because they're trying to get too much information out of me. Why you want to know what kind of vehicles I got? I'm not trading nothing in. Well, because we need to know, do you qualify for any rebates? That's why the templates that we have are so valuable, and that's why we save so much time, because we're just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, everything that's necessary for them to give us an offer, they have it. So we literally cut through all the garbage that most shoppers are going through with them. Most shoppers, they're not giving them the information. It's a horrible experience for both people, the shopper and the car salesman, because they're like, yo, this person just, man. And they really are like, yo, if you just come in, and the person's gonna come in because they just don't know. Like, we can't do this. You don't realize that we need this information. But our process is great for both people. Because you fill in the templates, all right, yo, here's what I do for a living, here's my cars, here's my deadline, here's my profession, here's my memberships, boom, here you go. These are the parameters, how I want you to quote me. Car salesman gets it and like, oh, wow, okay, good. This is more than any customer's ever given me. Hey, let me see what I can do for them. Easy for both people. The people that sell us cars, they're only working for us for like 20 minutes. They love us. The dealers that win the bids for us, they're like, man, thank you. Because How long did I got a video, I posted it, some of you saw it, and when I got my Infinity truck, I recorded it. I asked him, how much time did this whole thing take? He said, not even 20 minutes. Once we took out the test drive, not even 20 minutes when I bought my pre-owned Infinity. And it was a below market, 42% off the new price. It was $54,000. It was the best. Long story. I ain't going to go into all of that. But it was a great used car deal and literally 20 minutes of the car salesman's time. Meanwhile, they got people in there 5 hours that ain't buying a car. Been there 5 hours, negotiating back and forth. They're making them a good offer, and they just like, well, I don't know. You know how many times I was making a person a below market offer and they just wouldn't take it? But I know why they wouldn't take it, because they didn't know it was a below market, or they didn't know. They're like, man, I'm like, listen, you're really walking away from, like I'm telling you, we're at a triple net deal. We're like $500 over triple net, which means no dealer can, like, we're really in the black. Forget invoice. You got sticker price, you got invoice price, you got holdback, then you got the tissue, then you got the triple net. Triple net is like, it's really, we lost money on the deal. I'm $500 over that. Yeah, but I don't know, Deshone, because you don't know the market. So when you don't know the market, you're walking away from great deals. It's just a losing scenario. That's why you step back, cars from home, get your offers, step out of the garbage, and it's great for both people. When you go pick up your car salesman gonna be loving you. Hey, thank you, man. This was like one of the easiest deals I ever made. I didn't make much money on it, but if I'm not gonna make money, I'd rather make it in 30 minutes. Don't tie up 8 hours of my time and I make no money. So it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. For some reason, I can't access the lease counter offer on page 128. Okay, we'll check those links out. Just do me a favor. Send me an email, and then I'll send you the link to the calculator directly. But we'll check those links out for sure. Thanks for letting me know that. Other than that, everybody, thank you for joining us for this stream. Everything we talked about is in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. If you don't want to remember any of this, but you want the blueprint like some of these people you've heard from, and you just want to have this stuff for the rest of your life to be able to use, the car business is not going to change. The way we buy cars, the way you shop for cars, getting multiple offers is not going to change for a very long time because the dealers are behind. The industry is old. We are using cutting edge, new strategies, internet, stuff that no one's using. So it would take them years to catch up to what we're doing. So you'll have these things in your disposal to save money for the rest of your life while you're actually getting new cars, used cars, and leases less than everyone else. So the book's normally $97. It's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox in 3 minutes. You can grab it as part of my welcome offer for 75% off. So as long as you get there before the 30-minute timer, you got your copy for $24. You won't pay the normal $97 price, but you got to get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments before the 30-minute timer, and you got yours for $24. That's my welcome offer. And thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book. If you're on Goodreads, go to Goodreads, type in your 5-star review. I appreciate it. Keep adding to those 5-star reviews because it's just a great thing. Thank you so much, Stuart. Thanks, Deshone. Always a pleasure hearing from you. Thank you. I'm about to lease my 2nd car using your program, and I'll update you when I get this deal done. Thank you so much. I love to see those deals. Email me your deals, please. Email me. I love to get those emails. Deshone, check out this deal. What you'll notice, and I'll end with this, the people with no strategies, you'll see a lot of people post their cars. Hey, I just had to upgrade. Had to treat myself. You'll see a bunch of people taking pictures. Your girl just upgraded. They never talk about the numbers. They never talk about the numbers. Whenever I get emails, people say, hey, just look, people send me the numbers. They don't even send me the picture of the car. Because they know if you send me the picture of the car, but the numbers aren't attached to it, they know Deshone don't want to see this. They sending me their numbers. Deshone, look at my deal. I'm like, okay, can you send me a picture of the car too, though? I love to see you with the car. They're like, okay, that's secondary, though, because they know the deal is much more important than the car. I don't mind, like equally as important at least. So the confidence I want you having is when you're emailing, when you are picking up your new car, taking your picture, yo, I love this car, but I love the deal too. Like I love the deal that I got on this. So the process was beautiful. So that's what we want for more people. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who got your copy of Cars from Home. Enjoy it, use it, and please make sure you email me so I can I want to hear your results. All right. God bless you. I'll see you soon.